Good morning, students. So, in the last class, we completed the vapor pressure concept for the liquid solutions. But a small topic is left in the liquid solutions vapor pressure, that is graphical explanation. So, in the last class, in the video, for the liquid solutions vapor pressure discussion, we have used the Raoult's law and we got some formulas also. I am giving once again those formulas which are very much useful in the graph now. See, according to Raoult's law, I have taken the two components A and B. Two components I have taken, A and B, both are the liquid volatile components. For these components, we got the Raoult's law formulas also. They are PA is equal to P naught of A into XA and PB is equal to P naught of B into XB, and the total pressure is equal to P naught of A into XA plus P naught of B into XB. So these formulas we got it in the last video also. By using this and the same concept of vapor pressure in liquid solutions, we can explain in the form of graph also. Now see, I am going to drawing the graph. A and B are the two volatile liquids. Before mixing them, what happens? After mixing them, what happens? Once again, let us rewind. Before mixing, they are in the pure state. In their pure states, the vapor pressure of the pure liquids we have considered as P naught of A and P naught of B. When they combined, they have got the vapor pressures. The vapor pressures in the liquid for the component A is the PA and for the component B is the PB. And we have XA means mole fraction of the A in the liquid component A and mole fraction of B of the liquid component B in the solution. Like that we got it. Now the same concept I am explaining in the graph also. See, before mixing B to the A, what happens I will give. So I am drawing the graph between vapor pressure and mole fraction. Here I am taking the mole fraction means XA XB. Here I am taking the vapor pressures for the liquid component A and for the liquid component B also I am taking. Both the graphs for the both components I am giving. For the solution we are drawing the graph now. See, before mixing B to the A in the vessel, only A component is there. Let us consider like that. Only A component is there means the mole fraction of the A will be 1 over because B is not combined. Whatever the liquid component is there, that is completely A only. So mole fraction of A is 1 over and mole fraction of B will be 0 over. Because we know sum of the mole fractions is equal to 1 always. Initially I have taken that mole fraction of A is 1, B is 0. Tell me, if mole fraction of A is 1, apply this formula. If XA equal to 1 means PA is equal to P naught of A over, means the partial vapor pressure of the A is equal to vapor pressure of the pure solvent will be vapor pressure of pure solvent only. Therefore, at this condition, whatever the vapor pressure is coming for the component A, it will be P naught of A over the vapor pressure of liquid component A will be P naught of A over because XA value is 1 there. Now see what happening. I am adding B to the A. When B is adding, what happens? B mole fraction is increases, therefore A mole fraction will be decreases, because when B is adding, the A mole fraction will going to be decreasing, B mole fraction is going to be increasing, because sum of the mole fractions of A and B is always 1. See, I am adding B. B is increases, A decreases, mole fraction of A decreases. Mole fraction of A decreases means partial vapor pressure of A in the solution also decreases, because these two are directly proportional. When B is added, A mole fraction is decreases. If A mole fraction is decreases means partial vapor pressure in the solution is decreases, because these two are directly proportional. Therefore, XA value is decreases. Therefore, partial vapor pressure of A also decreases, reaches zero there. Means at this point again you see that here partial vapor pressure of P naught of A and partial vapor pressure of A value is going to be decreasing means here nothing but XA value 0 होना चाहिए. XA value will be 0. As XA value is 0, here XB will be 1 होगा. Here also sum of the mole fractions is equal to 1. Here also sum of the mole fractions is equal to 1. But here only component A is there. Here only component B is there. That's why mole fraction of B will be 1 होगा इधर. Here mole fraction of B will be 1, XA will be 0. But here XA will be 1, XB is 0. Here only mole fraction of A is there, here only mole fraction of B is there. But in between, A and B both are there. So from the beginning, B when we are increasing, A mole fraction is decreases. If A mole fraction is decreases means partial pressure of A in the solution also decreases. Therefore, this will be coming down. But you see, and at the same time when we are adding the B mole fraction is increases. As B mole fraction is increases, the partial vapor pressure with respect to the B also increases. As B value is increases, partial vapor pressure of B is also increase होगा. If it is increases, how the graph come now? See this. Here mole fraction of B is 0. So partial vapor pressure with respect to B is 0 here. See here whatever the partial vapor pressure of A with respect to A component is 0 here. Here with respect to B component will be 0 होगा, mole fraction of B is 0. When B is increases, see when B is increases, the partial vapor pressure of B also increase होगा. If it is increases, the graph is raising up now, raising up. Here it is touches now. I will tell you why it is coming now. If you concentrate on this graph, you see that at this point, mole fraction of A will be 0, mole fraction of B is completely 1. As mole fraction of B is 1, the partial vapor pressure of B will be P naught of B होगा. Means at this point we will get P naught of B only. P naught of B only we will get, because here XB equal to 1. From this formula, if XB is 1, PB equal to P naught of B, you will get it. So the P naught of B means the vapor pressure of the pure component B only you will get. So this is the actually value. Here look at the value is increasing there. Value is increasing. So this graph is raising up. Why this graph is raising up? From this side, if you see this graph is raising up, A graph is coming down. From this side, if you observe here, B graph is going to be decreasing, A graph is going to be increasing. It means from this to this direction, here XA value is 0 initially. That's why partial vapor pressure of A will be 0 there. From this moving from this side to this side, when we are moving, XA value 0 become XA value 1. Means XA is adding from this side. As XA is adding, partial vapor pressure of A is increases. As XA is adding, XB will be decreases. See, XB equal to 1 becomes 0. XB decreases. So the partial vapor pressure of B also decrease होगा. Either side we can take it. This is the reason I am explaining from this direction now. Once again you see, this is liquid component A and this is liquid component B. So from the beginning only component A I have taken. So at this case only XA equal to 1 is there, XB is 0. As XA equal to 1, it has its own vapor pressure, no? It has its own vapor pressure, that is P naught of A. I have occupied the point here, means मैंने इधर दे दिया point, something value is there P naught of A, इधर दे दिया. Now at this point XB I am going to add in. As XB is increases, mole fraction of A is decreases, B is increases. As mole fraction of A is decreases, A is decreases, partial vapor pressure of PA also decrease होगा. That's why graph is decreasing. Why? Because XB is increases. As XB is increases, from this formula PB also increases. That's why from this value graph is rising up. But one point you have to understand. Here for component A I have taken point here. But here for component B I have taken point there. Okay, from this value is rising up. Why it is rising up? Because A is a volatile liquid, B also volatile liquid. From the A evaporation is coming, from the B also evaporation is coming. So only A is there means where maximum vapor pressure is here only coming. When B volatile liquid also adding, so B also volatile, A also volatile, both are volatile, therefore total vapor pressure is again increases. That's why on adding the B, this is again combines with the vaporization of A, so total vapor pressure is rising up. That's why the point is increased than this. Because on adding B, A also volatile, B also volatile, total mixer vaporization is increases. That's why total vapor pressure is rising up. If you attach these 2 points on any point on this line, you will get the total vapor pressure only. Total vapor pressure. Here see, you will get the PT you will get. Total vapor pressure. Total vapor pressure means sum of the vapor pressures of PA and PB. On this line, you will get the total vapor pressure. Total vapor pressure is always more than the individual vapor pressures, no? That's why total vapor pressure is P and PB होगा. Suppose if we want to get the total vapor pressure at this point आपको total vapor pressure चाहिए. So कैसे आएगा देखिए, एक horizontal line में draw कर रहा हूँ. So if you draw the horizontal line, if you draw the vertical line there, this line touches at this point of this graph and touches at this point of this B graph. Now see, at this point you will get the PA because for the A graph. At this point you will get the PB for the B graph. How to get the PA and PB? Because PA, PB, those PA plus PB is total vapor pressure आ जाएगा. Because these 2 points से this point is more. Because sum of these two you will get total vapor pressure. PA how to get? This is the formula, P naught of A into XA. This PA means P naught of A into XA. P naught of A इधर आ जाएगा. XA कैसे आएगा? इधर आएगा ना देखो. At this point you will get some XA value, some XB value also. Here also XA value will get, here also XB value you will get. Because XB we have added, the graph is moving in right hand side direction. XB we are adding. So XA decrease होगा, XB increase होगा. So you will get something XA value, something XB value. That is why by using this XA and P naught of A, PA आ जाएगा. And PB means P naught of B into XB. This is the formula. P naught of B आपको इधर value आएगा and XB value from this line आ जाएगा. So when these two values substitute in this formula, PA, PB you will get it. The sum of these two only you will get total vapor pressure. Similarly here also, If you want to get the total vapor pressure at this point, you need to take this point and this point. This point is PA, at this point will be PB over. Again, PA equal to P naught of A into XA. XA you will get at this point. XB also you will get at this point. So like that, if you add all these values in this graph, so you can get the total vapor pressure at this point by using this formula. That is why both are volatile liquids. That's why when B is added to the A, total vaporization is increases. So total vapor pressure is always more than the individual vapor pressures. That's why the graph is rising up. So this is the graphical explanation for the vaporization of both liquid solvent solutions. Liquid solvents are taken. A is the volatile liquid, B also volatile liquid. So total vapor pressure आपको यही आ जाएगा. नहीं तो you can use this formula also. PA means P naught of A into XA, P naught of B into XB also. So this is the graph for the vaporization of liquid solutions. Okay, the next topic is, let us discuss about the second type of the solutions. Up to now we finished the vapor pressures of liquid solutions. Means both the components are liquids only. But now the second category, the vapor pressure of solid liquid components. Means the liquid is here solvent, solute is solid. What happens? How the vapor pressure will come in the solid liquid solutions? This is completely different than the first category. Liquid over solid in liquid. Let us discuss now. See, here I am taking one vessel. In this solvent I am taking now. Only solvent I am taking. Pure solvent. It has its own vapor pressure. We know that. It has its own vapor pressure. So vaporization is increases. Vaporization is there. It has its own vapor pressure. Its vapor pressure is always fixed. We know the symbol, the sign for the vaporization of the pure liquid. I am taking the vaporization of this pure liquid as P naught. Liquid component vaporization I have taken as a P naught. Now it has its own vapor pressure. We know that because it's a volatile liquid. Volatile liquid means vaporization is coming. Whatever the vapors are coming out, whatever the pressure exerted by this vapor is nothing but vapor pressure. That is P naught I have taken. Now see what I am doing is, actually the solute should be solid, we need to add. But the solid should be non-volatile. Here solvent is volatile, not solute. Solute is non-volatile, like glucose, sugar, sucrose, urea. These are all non-volatile solutes. Means from this vapors will not come. In first category we have taken liquid solutions. So both are volatile. But here only solvent is volatile, solute is not volatile. So I am adding a non-volatile solute. आपको समझ में आने के लिए I am taking some values. To understand the concept, I am taking some values here. I have taken some solvent. This solvent, it has its own vapor pressure. Its own vapor pressure I am taking as 80 mm. P naught I am taking as 80 mm. Now see what I am doing. Now I am adding a non-volatile solute. A non-volatile solute I am adding. I need to observe the vapor pressure. Now what happens? A solute is added to the solvent. Now it becomes solution. So whatever the vapor pressure is coming from this, now we can say vapor pressure of solution, not solvent. Before adding a non-volatile solute, I have taken pure solvent as P naught. Now a non-volatile solute is added, it becomes solution. Whatever the vapor pressure is coming, this is considered as vapor pressure of solution. Its symbol is PS. PS means vapor pressure of solution. You have to tell that this PS value what happens than P naught. If the PS value what happened than P naught. P naught is pure solvent vapor pressure. PS is solution होने के बाद मीन्स नॉन वोलेटाइल सोल्यूट ऐड करने के बाद solution form हो गया. From the solution whatever the vapor pressure is coming, that is symbol is PS. This PS value what happened than 80? Is it more than 80 or is equal to 80 or less than 80? That is the point now. What I am saying is it is less than 80 comes. Suppose 60 mm आ गया. Less than 80 always. Why it is less than 80, I'll tell you now. Before adding non-volatile solute, it was 80. When a non-volatile solute is added, vaporization is lowered. That's why vapor pressure is lowered. Why vaporization is lower? See this explanation. Non-volatile solute, generally solute molecule sizes are bigger than the solvent molecules. The size of the solute particles are more than solvent particles, and that to be these are all non-volatile solutes, means solutes are combined with the solvents in the solution like this. These are all solute particles. These are all solute. Some solute particles are present inside the liquid and some solute particles are occupying on the surface of the liquid. Some solute particles occupies the surface of the liquid also. Yes, it may be. The solute particles are combined with the solvent means they can be present anywhere. Some are present in the inside of the solute, inside of the solution. Some are occupying on the surface. These surface occupying solute molecules are playing important role now. See, now these solute particles are not volatile. From this vaporization is not coming. Now solvent only going to be vaporized because I have taken solvent only in volatile liquid. Now see, solvent molecule want to volatile. It is reached to the surface. Yeah, from this it is vaporizes. But some solvent molecules want to vaporize and it is reaches to the surface, but already surface part is occupied by solute particles. That's why these solute particles stops the vaporization of the solvent particles. The particles which are occupying on the surface of the liquid restricted, stops the vaporization of the solvent particles. Suppose if it is not there, it is freely vaporizes. At that condition we got 80. But because of the solute particles, some solvent molecules are stopped to evaporate. That's why vaporization is obviously less over. That is why vapor pressure also decreased. That's why it is reaches to 60 only. So, but some molecules are vaporized. That's why we got 60. But some solvent molecules are stopped by the solute particles which are occupying on the surface of the liquid. That is why vaporization is lower than the before. That's why vapor pressure is decreased. How much vapor pressure is decreased? That is called lowering of vapor pressure. I'll tell you now. See, lowering of vapor pressure, LVP, lowering of vapor pressure, means P naught minus PS. This is the formula of lowering of vapor pressure. Initially how much? 80. After adding non-volatile solute, how much? 60. How much is difference? How much is lower? 20. How to get it? P naught minus Ps, higher value minus lower value. So how much it is? 80 minus 60, this will be 20 mm. 20 mm is lower. This is called lowering of vapor pressure. Here now I am saying very important point which will be very much useful in the further concepts. This lowering of vapor pressure depends on the quantity of the solute we are adding. Means number of solute particles are more, lowering also more. How do you understand this? If number of solute particles increases, lowering of vapor pressure also increase hoga. Let me explain how it is clearly. Initially, I have added suppose 5 grams. All these values to understand this concept only I have taken. So suppose initially 5 grams of solute particles I have added. So because of these 5 grams of solute particles, vaporization is lowered. The final vapor pressure of solution I got 60. Because of the 60 lowering of vapor pressure we got 20. Now see what happening. I am adding much more solute. I am adding more solute to this. Now suppose I am adding now 15 gram, not 5 gram, 15 gram I have added. Means more quantity of this solute I have added. It means more particles are occupying on the surface than the before. Inside also they occupies. Because quantity is more is there, but and again more solute particles occupying on the surface of the liquid. Due to this, what happens? Vaporization is again decreases because more number of particles are occupying on the surface. That's why vaporization is again decreases. Now we got the vapor pressure of this solution just suppose 30. Suppose if you get 30 only, not 60, because more quantity we have added, so vaporization is again decreased. Now we got the vapor pressure of solution. If you add 15 gram, the solution if you observed as 30, now how much is lower? Tell me. Lowering of vapor pressure, we know this is the formula. The lowering of vapor pressure is P naught minus Ps. P naught is how much? This is fixed always 80 minus Ps how much? Now we got 30 only. So how much it is? 50 mm. When we add 5 grams, we got 20 mm. Now when the quantity of the solute particles are increased, we got 50 mm. Means more the quantity of the solute is added, more is the lowering of vapor pressure. It means lowering of vapor pressure is directly proportional to quantity of the solute is added. This is very important point. I will remind this point after 2 or 3 classes because very much useful point it is. So the lowering of vapor pressure is increases when solute quantity also increases because vaporization decreases, vapor pressure is decreases. Here I am using different words. Vapor pressure of pure solvent, vapor pressure of the solution, lowering of vapor pressure, non-volatile solute. When a non-volatile solute is added, these solute particles occupying on the surface of the liquid, therefore they stops the vaporization of the solvent particles. Due to this, vaporization is lowered. Therefore, vapor pressure of solution is decreased. How much vaporization is lowered we can calculate by using this formula. This is called lowering of vapor pressure, P naught minus Ps. This is depends on the quantity of the solute. More the quantity of the solute is added, more particles occupying on the surface. Therefore, the vaporization is again decreases. Therefore, vapor pressure is again lowered. So, lowering of vapor pressure is increases on increasing the quantity of the solute. So, this is lowering of vapor pressure when a non-volatile solute is added. After this lowering of vapor pressure, और एक है relative lowering of vapor pressure. The relative lowering of vapor pressure is one more point is there. This is nothing but the ratio between the lowering of vapor pressure to the vapor pressure of pure solvent. The relative lowering of vapor pressure means it is the ratio between lowering of vapor pressure to vapor pressure of pure solvent. Means lowering of vapor pressure formula we know P naught minus Ps by P naught. This is relative lowering of vapor pressure. मैंने अभी जो बता रहा हूँ that is only need to write as an home notes or running notes, okay? And by reading the NCERT textbook also. Coming to the third one, I am giving one more Raoult's law. You see, one more Raoult's law. Raoult's law already over in the liquid solutions. There, what I said, the partial vapor pressure of a component in the solution is directly proportional to its mole fraction. There I told you in the liquid solutions. Here also, solid liquid solutions also, we have one more Raoult's law. It states that, see, the relative lowering of vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute. Statement is not over. Just once again I am saying, half of the statement will come in this abbreviation only. See, once again I am saying, the relative lowering of vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is equal to mole fraction of solute. This is equal to mole fraction of solute over. This is the Raoult's law, another statement. It means what? Apply this all the remaining formulas. Relative lowering of vapor pressure. I am writing this formula now. RLVP means formula क्या है? P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction of solute formula क्या है? Mole fraction of solute. I can take like this also. Mole fraction of solute. After that I will expand this. This is I am taking as equation number 1. Now in this equation 1 I am writing this mole fraction of solute again. We know the mole fraction of the solute means what? See, I am writing again formulas. P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute means number of moles of solute by number of moles of solute plus solvent. Total number of moles. Here I have taken small n is the number of moles of solute, capital N is the number of moles of solvent. Because this is a mole fraction formula. Like this way we can write. Suppose see, let us consider a very dilute solution. This is another equation number 2. Equation number 2. Suppose see, for very dilute solutions given. Very dilute solution means in this solute quantity is very less. The quantity of this solute is very less. That is called dilute solution. If the quantity of the solute is very less means number of moles also very small. As number of moles of solute is very small, we can neglect this part in this summation. Let us neglect this. So, this is we need to neglect when a solute particle, solute quantity is very less than the solvent. Then this formula again reduce it to P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to N by N. What is N? Number of moles of solute. Solute. I am taking suppose solute as A, solvent as B, then what happened? Solute number of moles, mass of A by mass of molar mass of B. A. Mass by molar mass of A divided by mass by molar mass of B. I am taking solute as A, solvent as B. Number of moles means mass by molar mass of A. Here mass by molar mass of B. Again it can be simplified to P naught minus Ps by P naught equal to, see that, WA by MA into, ये रिवर्स कर दिया तो MB by WB. This is equation number 3. This is equation number 3. So this is the formula we need to use for very dilute solutions. From this equation number 3, I am giving one more relation. It is very much useful for objective. You see that. See? You need to write this as a notes also. See, equation number 3, what I am doing is into 1000 divided by 1000 I am doing. See? P naught minus Ps by P naught is equal to WA by MA into MB by WB. मैंने into 1000 ले रहा हूँ divide by 1000 because I need to derive one more relation. See what happens, into 1000 divided by 1000. I am highlighting one part. You just tell me what is this part. See this? Mass by molar mass of solute means number of moles. Number of moles of solute into 1000 by mass of the solvent. Number of moles into 1000 by mass of solvent in gram. This is nothing but molality. Here B is solvent, A is solute I have taken. This is molality. So there is a relation between relative lowering of vapor pressure and molality also. See the relation? Therefore P naught minus Ps by P naught equal to, this is molality. So therefore molality into molar mass of the solvent divided by 1000. This is a very important relation for the objective. The relative lowering vapor pressure and molality relation is this. Here molar mass of solvent divided by 1000. This is actually one relation. All these are objective purpose के लिए very important it is. Now after this again I am deriving one more relation also. For this I am taking equation number 1. See, the equation number 1 I am taking again. See, from 1, what is that 1? P naught minus Ps by P naught equal to mole fraction of solute. So from this I can derive one more relation also. See, मैंने ये P naught से divide कर रहा हूँ sir. If you divide all the terms with P naught by P naught, it will be 1 minus Ps by P naught is equal to mole fraction of solute. See what I am doing now? This is, we can write Ps by P naught equal to 1 minus of mole fraction of solute. 1 minus of mole fraction of solute means it will be mole fraction of solvent only. This is nothing but mole fraction of solvent only. So this is, again we can write it as Ps is equal to P naught into mole fraction of solvent. Yeah, see, Ps is equal to P naught into mole fraction of solvent. If you, this is the P naught means vapor pressure of the pure solvent. This is constant. So this constant, if you remove, you can get the proportionality now. Therefore Ps proportional to mole fraction of solvent you can get. I am removing this P naught value because it's a constant. If you remove the constant, is equal to become proportionality. Now I am defining Raoult's third law again. Third statement of Raoult's law. First, second I given already. This is another statement for the Raoult's law. It can be stated as PS means what? Vapor pressure of the solution containing non-volatile solute. Here the solute is non-volatile only. Therefore, the vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. This is another statement of the Raoult's law. The vapor pressure of the solution containing non-volatile solute is directly proportional to mole fraction of solvent. This is another statement for Raoult's law. Up to now, I have given three statements for the Raoult's law. Right? In liquid solutions, I have given one statement. In the solid liquid solutions, I have given two statements. And various formulas also I given there. So this is about the vapor pressure of the liquid solutions, solid liquid solutions. By using all these, numericals are there. In the next class, I will give these numericals are very important for subjective and objective. That's all today.